Hello everyone, welcome to the review lesson. Today, grade 8 term 3 revision. We are using Ms. Shema's revision document. She is from Al Samha school, and let's get into the lesson. Now, the very first page is about messages and information. What does coding mean? What does coding a message mean?
Means like turning a single words into a type of signals or a different thing, into numbers, like digital signals. You turn it into 1 and 0.
That is coding?
Yeah.
No.
Like, yes.
Coding is something to make sure that nobody else can see the message except the two person that.
Very good. Can you give me an example?
Sending messages in WhatsApp.
How is it coded?
So when you write the letters and it turns into codes, then after it to the person, it's turned again into letters with the other person that you message.
So if anybody in between is trying to read the
Yes.
messages, can they read it?
No.
So coding means you're changing the information or the message into a different set of symbols or numbers, okay, so that nobody can read the message except the intended person. So once the message reaches the recipient, the WhatsApp will again decode it, okay, decrypt it and show them as normal letters. All right?
Yes.
Okay. So then how can you send signals using flashlight?
Turn on and off.
Yes.
So will you, turning on and off is just one type of signal, right? So how can you send a big message?
By waves.
By creating patterns of turning on and off.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So you turn and off in different patterns to represent different letters. What do you think is more effective? Using sound as a signal or light as a signal?
More
Light.
effective sound. That's more effective.
Sound?
Light.
Light is more effective. Why?
Effective.
Because it is not affected by noise a lot.
Yes.
Okay? Sound can travel more distances. Light can travel more distances and is faster. Alright? Okay. The next one. What do you see in here?
Optic fiber cable.
Who can explain the structure and the function?
The structure made up of core and cabling,
Cladding.
cladding. The light pass into the cladding, then it reflects until it goes from the another side.
Alright. What principle of light is not involved in an optic fiber?
Diffraction.
Diffraction, because diffraction means a wave passes through a small gap and becomes circular waves. That doesn't happen here. Reflection happens, refraction happens, and transmission happens. Reflection is bouncing back, refraction is bending of light, and transmission is light moving from one place to another place. So all of these happen, but not diffraction or diffraction. This is the answer for this question. What does not happen in the picture shown above is diffraction. Okay, does not happen is diffraction. What is the principle behind a fiber optic cable?
To transfer information.
What is the principle behind? Total internal reflection. What is the principle?
Total internal reflection.
Okay, so if they ask you what is the principle behind optic fiber, you have to say it is total internal reflection. Total means all the waves are reflected internally. Does it go outside?
No.
And what is happening? The light touches the cladding and
Reflecting.
bounces back. So it is total
Reflect.
internal. Internal means inside.
Yes.
Internal reflection. Okay?
Yes.
Alright. The next picture. What do you see in the next picture?
Noise.
Noise. What type of signal?
Analog signal.
What is the other type of signal?
Digital signal.
Which one is better?
Digital.
Why?
Because it does get affected by noise.
It does not get affected by noise, and it is easier to store, and you can store it for a long period of time.
Yes.
But what type of signal do you see in the picture?
Analog.
Analog signal, normal analog signal, or
No, affected by noise.
it is affected by noise. How do you know if a signal is affected by noise?
Because it's more waves. Yeah, zigzag.
It's more zigzaggy. So that means it is affected by noise. Is noise a good thing?
No.
What will happen to a wave if there is noise?
It decreases its equality.
It decreases the quality. Okay?
Yes.
Very well done. Next one is a speedometer. Is it a analog? Sorry, one second. All right, what is the difference between a digital signal and an analog signal?
The difference that digital signal is a discrete signal, but analog is a continuous signal. Analog is also smooth, and it's also affected by noise, but digital do not affect it.
How many values can an analog signal have?
Infinity value.
How many values does a digital signal have?
2,
Zero
1
and
and 0.
What is 0? What is 1?
1 is on and 0 is off.
And what does a digital signal resemble? Or
Digital?
it is similar to, a digital signal is similar to a
Light switch.
light switch. 0 is off, 1 is on. Okay, very good. Now, next one. What do you see in the picture here?
Wind.
Wind energy. What type of energy resource is this?
Renewable.
And it is sustainable. What does sustainable mean?
Using something for a long period of time.
Very good. So what are some sources of energy that are not sustainable?
Fossil fuels.
Okay, why?
Because we need so many machines to take it.
All right, and the quantity is limited. Okay.
Yeah, the
You can still use fossil fuels. Like for example, if you have 4 cars in your house, if all of you decide to use only 1 car, that means you're cutting down your usage of fossil fuel. So other people can use it for a longer time. Do you understand?
Yes.
It's like I give you a pack of chocolates. You can either eat everything today or eat a little bit every day, so it lasts longer. Okay?
Yes.
If you eat everything today and tomorrow you want another chocolate, you're consuming or using more.
Yes.
Sustainable means how we can reduce the usage, keep using the same thing again and again, and also recycle, reduce and reuse. These are the 3 sustainable policies. Okay? So one among the ideas for sustainability is to use renewable energy resource that once it finishes, it will be available the next day or very soon. Can you give me examples of renewable resources? Sunlight.
Wind energy, water energy, and what do you have else? Yeah.
Geothermal energy
Yeah.
from the heat from inside the earth.
Yes.
Okay? All right. Why do you think renewable resources like solar energy, why is it beneficial?
Because the water do not finish, so we will have water forever.
And how about the environment? What is the connection with renewable energy and environment?
It
doesn't harm the environment.
It doesn't harm the environment.
Yes.
Okay? All right. Now, impact on land, water and atmosphere of an activity you perform daily. Like for example, you throwing waste on the street. What kind of impact will it have on land, air and water?
It will harm it.
How?
Because plastic doesn't like, how we can say it?
Decompose.
Yeah, exactly. Decompose with soil or anything for long. It takes about 1,000 years to decompose. So if we have like more trash, it will be
Very bad.
Yes.
And diseases can spread. How about releasing chemicals into the air?
We will have more of the ozone layer. It will be will have more hole in it. The hole will be bigger, and the environment and the air will be unclean to breathe.
And
More
you know,
diseases.
the road that we have, that is made of tar. Tar is something we get from fossil fuel. That will not let water go into the ground. You know, like how in Dubai there was a lot of flood?
Yes.
That is because Dubai has a lot of concrete and tar stuff on the ground. Like if you pour water on the soil, it will go down, right?
Yes.
But if you pour water on the road, what will happen? Will it seep inside? Will it soak into the ground? No. That's why there's a lot of flooding. You
Yes.
understand?
Yes.
They don't have proper drainage facilities.
Yes.
So this asphalt, that will not let water go into the ground. So the more we use roads, the more water will not get inside the ground. The groundwater will be very dry. Okay? The land will not become fertile. Okay, the next one. Seasons. What causes seasons?
The Earth's tilted axis
And
revolution.
Very good. How many seasons are there?
Four
Four.
seasons.
Can you name them?
Summer, winter,
spring,
autumn, and spring.
Summer, winter,
Fall.
autumn or fall, and spring. Okay. How is the weather in summer?
Hot.
Very hot.
How is the weather in winter?
Very cold.
How many seasons do we have in the UAE?
Two.
One.
Typically, we have 4 seasons, but it's typically very hot in other seasons and very, very cold in
Because we
winter.
are closer to the equator.
Yeah, kind of. Yes. Okay. Why are the poles colder and the equator is very hot?
Because of the Earth tilting motion. Because of that, the poles are too far away from the sunlight.
So the sunlight spread when it's
They only have a few sunlight.
Very good. What do you see in the picture now?
Moon
phases.
phases or lunar cycle.
How many moons do we have?
8.
One
One
moon,
but we have 8 phases.
faces.
All right. Why does the moon change shape? Is it actually getting bigger and smaller?
No, because the
Position.
motion around the Earth.
So, what happens?
When the moon is rotating as well as it's revolving around the Earth, every time we could see a different phase because of the position of moon, Earth, and sun.
How is sun involved with the moon?
Because moon doesn't have its own light. It receives light from sun, then reflected to the Earth.
Very good. Moon does not have its own light. It reflects sunlight. So depending upon the position of the earth, the sun and the moon, we are only able to see certain portions of the moon lit up bright. So that's what we call the phases of the moon. Okay? How many phases of the moon are there?
8.
Can you name them?
New moon, waxing crescent, first quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon, waning gibbous, third quarter, waning crescent.
Okay. How many days does the cycle take?
29 days.
29.5.
All right, it's almost a month, right?
Yes.
So if the 1st of May is full moon, when will be the next new moon?
15.
15 days later,
Yes.
14 days later, on the 15th day. All right, very good. Now, why do we always see only one side of the earth? One side of the moon.
Because like the rotation of the moon on itself, so after it complete a one revolution, it take long time, about 27 days to complete one rotation around itself. So that cause of that we see just one phase,
Very good.
one side.
Okay. How many types of eclipses do you know?
Two times.
What are they? How does the solar eclipse form?
Solar eclipse form when the moon is between Earth and Sun.
So what happens?
Then the moon is The moon will hide the sunlight to pass.
Moon's shadow.
The shadow of the moon falls on the sun, hiding it. Okay.
Yes.
So there are three types of
Two types of eclipse.
there are actually three: annular, partial, total. Annular means it's a little bit smaller than total eclipse.
Yes, like the edges of the.
Yeah, you can see a border clearly.
Yes.
Okay. Partial means only half of it
Yeah.
is covered, like crescent. Total means completely the sun is hidden by
Yes,
the shadow.
there is
okay.
no sunlight.
There is no sunlight at all. And the eclipse only lasts for a few minutes. It doesn't last for the entire day.
Yes, yes.
5 minutes.
Yeah, maximum.
Solar eclipse.
Yes. A lunar eclipse happens at night. That happens when the shadow of the Earth falls on the
Sun.
moon.
Moon, sorry.
Moon. So the moon will appear red in color. Okay? Do you understand?
Yes.
And that only happens during a full moon.
Yes, and even the
Yes,
Earth and the Sun and the Moon need to be in a straight line.
Yes, or it won't happen. Okay? Very well done. Okay, what is the darkest part of an eclipse called?
The umbra.
What are the sides called?
Penumbra.
Depending if you live on the umbra region or a penumbra region, the eclipses will look different to you. Okay? All right. How does gravity hold the solar system together?
The gravity of the Sun pulls planets into its orbit to like revolute around the
What
Sun.
will happen if the sun's gravity was to disappear?
Planets will go in a straight line.
All right, and they'll just go
In
off.
space.
Okay. All right. So how is distance and gravity related?
If distance increase, gravity decrease.
How about mass?
When mass increase, gravity increase.
Okay, fine. What type of signal is shown in the picture?
Analog digital with noise.
With noise. Very good. Now, why are electromagnetic waves used to transmit signals? Electromagnetic wave is nothing but light, radio wave.
Because they travel fast.
They travel faster and they are less affected by noise. Okay. They can also travel through empty space, through vacuum. Okay. All right. Encoding a signal means to convey the message using a secret so that other people don't read the message. Okay. All right. Which signal is most affected by noise? Analog or digital?
Analog.
So when you go to a recording studio and record it, what type of signal are you making? Digital.
Yes, digital.
What is deforestation?
Cutting tree.
Cutting down trees from a large area.
Why do they cut trees?
To have more space to build cities.
All right, very good. How can you minimize your ecological footprint?
Like
Walk or ride my bike to school. Do not waste water. Walk to school instead of using
turns light off after going out of the room.
Use less water, take shorter showers, okay? Reuse and recycle products, okay? All of these can be done. All right.
Decrease using cars.
Yes, decrease using cars. Why does the Earth orbit the sun?
Because of the gravity.
Okay. And what do you see here?
Like the motion of the Earth around the Sun.
Okay, what is an equinox?
When the night and day is
Equal
hours.
Very good. So when does that happen?
In spring and autumn.
And what's solstice?
When the day is longer than the night.
Very
Or
good.
The longest day in the year.
Or
Yes.
the night is longer.
So in summer solstice, the day is longer, and in winter solstice, the night is longer than the day.
Yes.
Okay, when does the summer solstice happen?
21 June.
When does the winter solstice happen?
21 December.
Very good. Alright, so that's it. All the very best.